Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Middle-Aged Barbarians.
That is us, yes.
I'm Eugene.
And I'm Eddie.
And today we are going to go into our third and final episode recording on the Quest from the Infinite Staircase reboot that will be coming out shortly.
Yeah, we will be talking about the last two old school modules that we checked out for in preparation for this.
We've been specifically going over old school and some reworks that are not the latest reworks, but some previous ones that are kind of interesting to look at.
Yeah, kind of to see what's the past in D&D and maybe what to expect in the future.
Yeah. So today we will be looking at Expedition to the Barrier Peaks and
the Lost Caverns of Tsojcanth. I think that's how it's pronounced. Those weird, pulpy, weird names. It's fascinating, yeah. And there are a couple of more names in that one when we talk about it.
Yeah. So stick around.
Yeah.
You know, I read the name Lost Caverns of
Tsojcanth.
It reminds me of Army of Darkness. Remember Army of Darkness when Ash has to
yeah,
go
of course, and reads the Necronomicon
and say the
like,
three words before the Necronomicon.
And he's like...
Which is actually funny because I never realized it until later that those are the three words from when the Earth stood still.
Oh,
Klaatu, Varata, Nikto. Or
yeah,
something
of
like
course.
That. So he'd get there and he'd be like, oh, Klaatu, Varata, Tsojcanth. So that, I don't know.
That's the vibe we're getting, yeah. Yeah, where is something like, I don't know, Evil Mountain or Bad Mountain?
Is that what it means?
No, it doesn't mean anything. Word. It's just, I don't know, something like Bad Place. No, I'm messing with you. That's a horrible name. Like calling something like...
The Lost Caverns of the Bad Place?
The Bad Place. Well, yeah, speaking of it, well, this thing, it's a Gary Gygax original, which is interesting in itself.
That's cool. I guess both of the modules we'll be reviewing today are Gary Gygax originals.
Yeah, this one is an adaptation of a module that he ran as a tournament, which is so weird to think of D&D as a... well, it's not competitive per se, but as a sort of competitive thing. And this is originally in a scenario that he played for conventions. So it was played with people, and it was meant to be finished as a one-shot.
You know what I find interesting now you're mentioning that? I was reading up, when we were looking up all these old modules and stuff, that back in the day when they'd have these tournaments, sometimes they would like mix and match. Like not all the players would be the same players throughout the whole adventure. And it would take maybe 4 or 5, 6 sessions to finish one of the modules, like one of the more complex ones that we had mentioned before, like the Lost City. And then they would say that, you can start with the group and then another group could come in and then you just play with different people and it all works together somehow.
Oh, maybe that's why there's so many people, because
they all ask for like 10 to 12 players so the DM can kill them off one by one.
Yeah, of course. Or maybe there's just one group that they meet at the middle point and they help each other out or something like that.
Oh. Yeah, it'd be cool how they intersect. I mean, we had that experience a long time ago. We mentioned before at that comic shop at the mall, but I don't think that was by design. I think the guy just needed to mix the groups together because he was losing players in each one.
Yeah, it always rotated. So, yeah. Also, when I used another player as the bad guy, and he helped us out, which was fun as well.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that very well. Yeah. All right, so I interrupted you. I'm very sorry. So, what's this module about?
It's the most basic instinct of any adventure. It's a whole mountain filled with treasure. If you want to go get it. But a lot of people have gone and not come back.
Oh.
So it's up to you to traverse so many levels of perils to get to the treasure and have a final fight.
Oh. So you work with the players' greed and avarice to get them to go into the peril-filled mountain.
Basically, but it's very interesting because it does have a bit of lore. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the witch Igilvi, I think it's pronounced that way, the mother of Use, the Greyhawk Lich ruler.
Oh, so this is also in Greyhawk?
This is in Greyhawk, yes.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, these are very iconic characters, and they're basically introduced here. And, I mean, it's not really that fleshed out in the module per se, but
it's the origin. That's where they're from?
It's basically where they're from. Yeah, Igilvi actually does not appear. Just to summarize, the big bad is actually her daughter.
Okay.
Which is a a vampire does in stasis, and you fight her in a really, really cool fight in the treasure room. And if you manage to defeat her, well, you get a treasure. And that's basically it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and basically the whole module is this very interestingly written. It's a whole bunch of encounters, some of them random, some of them predetermined, specifically the final battle. And it also has a wilderness area when you're on your way to the adventure. So it could take a little bit of a longer time. I believe the original model was more streamlined, and you had just the dungeon. But if you play it in this published version, it has this whole other scenario. It's got a little bit of politics because the land where the caves are situated is basically it's just after Eagleby has been gone. So, well, it's a different political scenario and stuff like that.
Well, I find that curious. I looked up the expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which is another Gary Gygax exclusive.
Oh, that's very cool. The concept's so cool. But
Yeah, the concept is cool. Funny enough, it was also something he ran back in a tournament. It's also based in Greyhawk. So, I mean, we're looking at modules that are like origins of a lot of the D&D mythos, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, of course.
And
this
this
is
is
just D&D, but go ahead. We'll go.
that's cool. So this is kind of cool because I think there's this strange happenings in the mountains, and there's knights and people that are disappearing. So like all the local kingdoms and realms and stuff are getting together because they're going to go and they're going to destroy this whole place because they don't know what's going on and people don't come back. But they're going to say, well, let's just give it one last shot, and they'll send out a group of heroes.
Disposable outsiders.
Yeah, disposable outsiders, also known as player characters, to go investigate. But now, what's so beloved of this module is the actual theme, because you're starting off in like a medieval fantasy, your standard setting for D&D. But when you get there, what you're actually walking into is sci-fi. You're walking into a spaceship. And I don't know if you've seen the maps that come in the original module. They are huge and they look so confusing. And there's a system of key cards that you need to open up different doors. It's very cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff that I would have loved to have seen how it was perceived back then.
Of course, without the baggage. Because like I told you when we were reviewing it off camera, Pathfinder has a whole country that's basically this. It's the Silver Mountain of Numeria. And it's basically a whole mountain that's actually a spaceship, a crashed spaceship.
Okay.
And there's like a whole culture that comes around from the techno mages that take out and kind of decipher how some of the tools and technology from the ship works, and they do this whole very weird thing with that.
Supposedly the story here is that this ship was traveling from another dimension or realm or something, and something malfunctions, I think, or they go through like a black hole. Some catastrophic event happens, and the ship breaks into two pieces. And the second piece is what comes into this realm of Greyhawk, crashes into the mountains, and the systems, like automatic upkeep or like the robots that are there to organize everything, just start opening and dumping stuff out and just start like cleaning out the ship. And they were transporting like monsters. So all these strange otherworldly monsters were in the ship. So you've got strange futuristic monsters, you've got cyborgs and robots, and you have like fantasy tech equipment like laser guns and syringe guns and power armors and just this whole crazy madness. I mean, this came out in 76 and it was published in the 1980s, early 80s, if not 1980 itself. And you look at the cover is like this weird, like a loincloth fighter with a laser gun. And these robots, and it's just this, you're looking at it, you're like, what is this? This is so crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of John Carter of Mars, but different, I guess. It's, yeah, very, very different influences. I mean, there are precedents, but yeah, it's very weird to introduce it into this game because it's like...
But now something cool, and this is just for the producer, 4th edition Die 20 Ultra Modern actually took some of the things from this module and they fleshed it out for the ultra modern like sub-campaign setting. Remember Die 20 Modern?
Of course.
I love Die 20 Modern. The Ultra Modern and a bunch of stuff came from this module. It was just readapted and brought into fourth.
Yeah, you got your laser guns, your jetpacks. Actually, now that you remember how we spoke a little bit about Dune as an adaptation because of
I saw the movies. I told you.
Yeah, you said you didn't quite like them as much, but
no, I did not get into them too much.
But I mean, I get it. It's not your style. I mean, it's 3/4 philosophy, like a couple of battles.
There's too much religious stuff in there.
Yeah, a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, but I mean, yeah. And also the director is like a very slow. We joked about it. Blade Runner 2049. It's like almost 2 times as long as the original Blade Runners. It's like, why?
Yeah, why? I don't know. So I mean, that's it. So you're in this giant spaceship, and you have to figure your way to go through it, and they bring in a lot of new stuff, and I think it's cool. And I mean, I don't know. I don't. Other than that Dragon Star, what was that?
Dragon Star. Was it the
Dragon
campaign
Star?
that was set in the stars?
Cool.
Yeah, Pathfinder
really
has this. Pathfinder has a lot of rules about. They expand a little bit the Silver Mountain in Numeria. They kind of expand what you could. I mean, they set up a couple of adventures and stuff, and how you could work in spaceships, and they set up like the different planets of where the prime material plane where you are fighting works. So maybe something like that. You can integrate something like Space Jammer.
Okay. Yeah.
Or Planescape, maybe some way you could make like there's another dimension that's more sci-fi oriented. But yeah, it opens up a lot of possibilities to do stuff like this.
Whoa!
We're back, yeah, but now together because of some malfunctions.
Well, we're still getting the hang of this new studio, so bear with us just for the closing here. So we managed to review the 6 old school modules for the up and coming quest from the Infinite Staircase. Woo! Which is the one you like the most, Eddie?
Well, I mean
or which would you play if you had the chance to pick one to play?
I would probably play the last one, the Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, because the setting always fascinates me. The mix of sci-fi with fantasy. So probably I will go with that. And fighting robots sounds pretty cool. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, as part of the adventure, you can actually gain a robot companion.
There was a lot of stuff that you could get.
So yeah, that would be freaking awesome. Like, once you're finished, follow my silver knight will fight against everybody, and
you just go lay havoc to all the laymen.
I will conquer the nations and establish socialism. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd want to play I'd try to challenge myself and play the Crystal Cave, but the 4th edition one, the one that you can actually fight people in. No, I'd probably try that one out and see what that's all about.
Oh, that would be. We could do something cool like that. Voices and wigs and costumes. No,
maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, I think that kind of sums up.
Well, we tried to do a little bit of review, our thoughts. Yeah. So, if you like what you saw, put a like,
comment,
subscribe, and all that jazz.
Description. We have a bunch of different links to social media and stuff. I feel very close to you.
Yeah. Well, we are rather close. Yes.
It's kind of like when we first started recording.
Yeah. I mean, good times.
Oh yeah, so long ago. Except I'm on the other side, or am I on the right side?
No, you've always been in the left side, metaphorically and literally.
We're rambling. Sorry. We will see you all next episode, and as always,
rage responsibly, my friends.
Rage responsibly. Take care.